Hey, what's up Guardians, TBL here, and we're back on another wonderful Xursday morning to inspect the inventory of the Agent of the Nine. That's right, it is that wonderful day of week again, and as usual we will be discussing Xur's inventory and details in full, starting off with where you can find the big man shop this time around. This week, Xur is once again located in the tower. You'll find him in the middle of the Vanguard hold, the same room with all of the class representatives. By now, it's a path well known to you Guardians, but for those who may not know, once you spawn into the tower, head straight forward and down the flight of stairs. Just continue down the path, past the Crucible Salesman, and you'll find yourself in the Vanguard hold in no time. Xur will be located over on your immediate right. Just follow the path that I'm taking here, and you can't miss him. Hey there big guy, what you got for us this week? Alright, there is Xur's inventory for the week. Taking a first glance here, looks like we got some pretty good stuff in the mix. Some new armor, some old armor, and a fantastic weapon. But alright, as usual, we will be covering everything in Xur's inventory, starting off with the weapons and armor he has for sale, and first up is the Eternal Warrior Exotic Titan Helmet piece. Now, Xur was selling this a couple weeks ago, and if you'll recall, it provides the Unstoppable perk for your Fist of Havoc, basically granting you more armor whenever you pop your super. It's got a pretty decent intellect stat roll of 72 and an alright discipline stat roll of 57. It's definitely an alright mixture, and if you haven't picked this helmet up yet, I could definitely recommend it. Though you'll probably get more use out of something like Helm of Saint 14. Next up for hunters, we have the always welcome Mask of the Third Man. This wonderful Blade Dancer exotic helmet allows your arc blade attacks to use less super energy. Using less super energy basically means you get to use more arc blade attacks and get even more cheesy crucible kills. Now, while this is one of the best hunter exotic helmets in the game, it's got a pretty low stat roll here of 102 intellect. You've probably already got a better variant of it. Although for you newer hunters out there who haven't picked up the mask yet, I definitely recommend you get your hands on one now. Alright, finally for Warlocks, we've got the Starfire Protocol exotic chest piece. This chest piece allows you to carry an additional charge for your fusion grenade. It's basically like a free version of Gift of the Sun. Basically put in place so you can have 2 fusion grenades while using something else like Angel of Light or Touch of Flame. It's an interesting ability for sure, and the intellect stat roll of 130 is definitely good in my book. But there are much better Warlock exotics out there, it's competing with stuff like the Voidfang Vestments and the Ram. This chest piece just gets a lot of competition from some very good exotics. I would, however, recommend that you pick this up if you haven't gotten one already. Plus, the mixture of a fusion grenade's power with the additional burn from Touch of Flame might have some usage in PvE. Alright, next up to the weapon that Xur has for sale this week, he is offering the Mighty Thunderlord Exotic Machine Gun. Oh yeah, you guys know I'm a big fan of this one. The Thunderlord is a very interesting, very strong exotic weapon. It's a part of the high impact, high rate of fire archetype for machine guns, the same class that BTRD and the Swarm are in. And it comes with a cavalcade of abilities that make it super duper useful, like Perfect Balance, Field Scout, and Lightning Rounds, where this weapon fires faster and more accurately the longer the trigger is held. With the massive amount of ammunition this gun has, along with its relatively decent stability, you'll be firing this gun for days. Mix it in with a special weapon that has surplus and oh man, get some raid boots in there with the heavy ammo buff, and you'll be running into heavy ammunition and using this gun all day long. I can absolutely recommend that you Guardians pick this up if you haven't gotten your hands on the Mighty Thunderlord already. It's easily the best exotic machine gun in the game. Although that's not surprising considering its only other competition is super good advice. Alright, next up we have of course exotic shards and an exotic chest piece engram, which you can purchase and redeem at the Cryptarch for a chance at any exotic chest piece in the game. Alright, let's take a look at the strange curios here. In terms of telemetries, this week Xur is offering auto rifle telemetries, pulse rifle telemetries, and finally rocket launcher telemetries. He never matches that up with the heavy weapon that he's selling. What's up with that, Xur? Come on, man. But alright, taking a look at the Sparrow upgrade drives, this week he's offering once again the Plasma Drive and the Emerald Coil. And finally on the Strange Curio list, we of course have Heavy Ammo Synth 5 for 1 Strange Coin. Now of course the last thing on Xur's list is the Material Exchange, where you can trade in 2 Strange Coins for 1 Mode of Light. Now Modes of Light are getting an interesting change in Taken King. You're actually going to use them to infuse weapon EXP into your guns. We'll be talking about that a little bit later in another video. But safe to say you should probably stock up on them. But other than that, there we go. That's pretty much it for Xur's inventory this week. Again, the Mask of the Third Man is a great choice for you hunters out there, although you probably already have one with a better stat roll. The Eternal Warrior is making another rounds in Xur's inventory. It's got a decent enough stat roll, and its ability is okay. Although, again, you're probably going to get more use out of something like Helm of Saint 14, or really even Helm of Inmost Light. Personal choice there, and it's much the same for the Starfire protocol. When it's going up against stuff like Voidfang Vestments and even Heart of the Praxic Fire, or of course the Ram, it's kind of hard to justify wearing the protocol. But of course I would recommend that you pick any or all of these exotics up if you haven't gotten them already, just to add them to your upcoming exotic blueprint. That will of course be a collection type storage for your exotic weapons once Taken King comes out, and you'll be able to recreate exotic weapons from year 1 and year 2 that you've already picked up. Alright, now for the weapon this week, of course it is the Mighty Thunderlord, and I cannot recommend this gun enough. It's so powerful, it's so fun to use, and it's useful in a lot of situations. It's even really good in PvP. Definitely pick this gun up. And if you'd like to see a little bit more of it in action, we actually have an exotic weapon review of it right here on the channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below and maybe an annotation at the end of this. Please feel free to check it out. But alright, that's pretty much going to be it for this week's Xursday video. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below what you guys picked up from the Agent of the Nine. But alright, if you liked what you saw here, do feel free to check out my channel where you can find a ton more Destiny videos coming out soon. Anyways, it's going to be it for me. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.